Greetings. Black light, the elder black light, your motivator. We connecting the dots. If you haven't heard of the King Alfred plan in Rex 84, this is part of what is being implemented right as we speak, but it's done in stages. And it moves like a snail. So you'll fall asleep, forget what you seen, But it's beginning to escalate a little bit better. Let's speed up a little bit more as the masses wake up. So now we're going to connect all of this together with what's happening out at the marathon, Nipsey Hussle. So you notice they got right here California as number 9, region 9. 9 is a 6 turned upside down. Let's get to it.
This evening are going to be overt Nazi elements who loom very large and around the fringes of many of these same incidents. We mention this because, as we will review, we looked at it in our last program, one of the most disturbing features of the Rex 84 martial law plan was to deputize ultra-right-wing paramilitaries with Ku Klux Klan and Nazi types, and to use them as official institutors, one might say, of American national security policy, namely the institution of martial law. And in light of some of the provisions of that martial law plan, in light of some of the people they were going to be getting to institute that.
Now, this is what's happening now. The Ku Klux Klan and the Nazi types have joined the police, all the police forces. Now you got brothers that's joining police forces. But these brothers don't know what's going on. You got brothers joining the military. They don't know what's going on. They try to keep everything simple, and they try to give the Caucasian a chance to be human. So these Klansmen and Nazis are infiltrated all through the government. Let's finish,
plan, and in light of the overt Nazi elements lurking around the edges of many of the ostensible left-wing terrorist incidents of recent years, again, the question we're asking is, are we dealing with a new Reichstag scenario?
The first article, detailing in some depth the plan that Dave just alluded to, is from the San Jose Mercury News for July 5th, 1987. The article is headed North and the Secret Government, subheaded Martial Law Plan Among Work of Reagan Advisors. The article is by Alfonso Ciardi, who's been doing excellent work, one of the few mainstream journalists who's been really putting out the good stuff on the Iran-Contra scandal. Alfonso Ciardi, who writes for the Miami Herald, but this is through the Mercury News Washington Bureau. Dateline, Washington. Marine Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North helped draft a plan in 1984 to impose martial law in the United States in event of an emergency, inspiring a sharp protest by then Attorney General William French Smith, according to government officials. The secret plan called for the suspension of the Constitution, turning control of the government over to the Federal Emergency Management Agency, appointment of military commanders to run state and local governments, and the declaration of martial law in the event of such a crisis as nuclear war, violent and widespread internal dissent, or national opposition to a U.S. military invasion abroad.
Now, I hope y'all's paying attention, because I'm not going to, I'm wasting time to keep repeating it like some cats do. If you weren't paying attention, that's because this ain't your interest. And you don't believe it anyway. But like I say, I play stuff videos, and I let them say it. They saying it themselves. You say, well, that's because some Caucasians, are humane. No. The Caucasians, like you got Hillary, her crew, you got Trump and his crew. You got the North crew and the South crew. Trump is for the down south crew. Hillary is for the northern crew. They don't, we're not in their interest at all. They fighting each other to see who's going to control us. Who's going to control the planet. That's what they doing. Now, the northern crew, they sneaky with theirs. They pat you, smile in your face, pat you on your back. Then stab you in your back. The southern crew, they up front with theirs. They up front with it. They the more militant. Nigga, I don't like you. Get the hell out of here, or do, something. Because this is ours. We took it from y'all. And we intend to keep it. That's all it is to that. Now, at this point in time, we're going to expose some of the hypocrites, agents, and gatekeepers was put in place to slow this man's, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, to slow his roll. And this is Brother Malcolm. Everybody want to put Malcolm over Elijah. They want Malcolm to replace Elijah, saying that Malcolm is the head because Malcolm was a gifted speaker, but he was promoting the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings in his program. Then you got Minister Farrakhan, who went with Warf Deen Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad's son. See, they had got the Warf Deen Muhammad too. When I say they, I'm talking about the so-called government, the FBI and the CIA, all them work together. And Elijah Muhammad's son, Wallace D. Muhammad, influenced Farrakhan. Also, he influenced Malcolm. You got some brothers, some young brothers, that we're going to be speaking on, that's going to come up with a lecture concerning Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam. And he's going to blame the killing of Malcolm X on the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now this brother, we're going to say his name, Young Pharaoh, wasn't even back there in them days. He just got here a couple of minutes ago. Now myself, I was born in 1946. I was a young man during the height of the Black Awakening, when you had the Panthers, the FOI, the Republic of New Africa, a whole bunch of brothers, Stokely Carmichael, H. Rap Brown, all of them getting their cue from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, it's been stated by myself that my whole family, half of my family, on my mother's side, was in the Nation of Islam before I was born, at least listening to their teachings. I was in my mother's stomach and she was going to the meetings. But at the age of 7, my mother, she stopped going. But I stayed close to my uncle, who was real good friends of Malcolm. And my uncle told me how Malcolm was assassinated and why he was assassinated. Now this brother that's called Young Pharaoh, first he had Young Pharaoh Allah, then he dropped it. He's being financed, but I know it got to be some Jews. Now you got Zionist Jews and you got Orthodox Jews, who some of them claim them not to be with the Zionists because they know that the black man cannot be defeated, and this is the time of his rise. And they know by the scriptures, you know, that they're not going to be the winners. So they're trying to make friends. These are the ones that's coaching, suckering in people like Farrakhan, Young Pharaoh, Poppy, Sinetta, Polite. Because these brothers love that dollar. They weak to that money, see. And with Malcolm, his thing was a little different. He wasn't weak to the money, but it was something else that he had in mind. So we're going to come back. Stay in tune. We can still connecting those dots. And it's going to lead, when we get through putting the whole picture together, it's going to lead right back to Nipsey. This black light.